Well, there's no surprise that it will be so. Anybody who was expecting the president not to assent to the bill is perhaps not honest to himself or herself. The whole process was predicted to end this way, and that's what we have seen. All the arguments or controversies that trailed the amendment, particularly the most controversial clause, that is Section 63 of the Electoral Act of 2026 now. In 2022, it was 65. But the proposed amendment is Section 63, which had to do with mandatory electronic transmission of results from the polling units to the IREF portal. What we had in the 2022 Act, which has now been repealed, was a transfer of results in a manner prescribed by the Electoral Commission. It didn't talk about electronic transmission there. The Act provided that the Commission, which is INEC, will prescribe the mode of making this transfer. And in the election that we had in 2023, the INEC prescription of that mode was contained in the guideline, which it made. It should be transmitted electronically. That's the guideline. But in the Act, it says it is the INEC that will prescribe the mode. And after the elections, of course, with what happened in the process of movement of those results from the polling unit to the final declaration of results, it became very contentious that that mode which INEC prescribed would be the mode of transmission of the result had a glitch, they told us, because the results were uploaded and transmitted electronically. And then on that day, all the National Assembly elections, House of Reps and Senate, the transmission went without any glitch. The presidential election was said to have had a glitch. They couldn't transmit the result of the presidential election. That was what led to the litigation that went up to the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court said that the electronic transmission of result was not known to the Electoral Act. Lawyers have argued, even legal luminaries have argued, that the prescription which INEC made, that the result should be transmitted electronically, was a power it exercised by the Act, which gave her the power to prescribe the mode. So it is lawful. The Supreme Court said otherwise, that electronic transmission was not explicitly stated in the Act. So that was what led to the failure of the litigations that went up to the Supreme Court. So that's what led to this proposed amendment, so that the electronic transmission of results will be provided for in the Act, so that the Act itself will recognize electronic transmission of results. And that's what the whole essence of this amendment, which went the way it did. So looking at the whole thing now, there is no way one, seeing what played out in both chambers of the National Assembly, one will not be expecting that at the end the president will veto the National Assembly or say that he doesn't want to assent to the bill, because everything was tailored to meet a certain end.